Hi all, it's Rabbi David here, wanting to wish you all a Chag Sameach for Shavuot. Again, I suppose it's another reminder that we're not together in shul, but we have created a sense of togetherness online as much as we can. Might not be exactly the same, but we've done some really great things. We had such a wonderful pre-Shavuot program. There were probably at least 60 people at different times on the program. I think that's such a good testament to interest in being together and learning together. Our services are continuing, and we're continuing also with our Sunday night speakers, which have been really popular. Tonight, 6:45, we have Yizkor, and of course we have after that the Book of Ruth. If you are within the first year after someone has passed away, you can read Yizkor. There are many that do that even within the first year in case you're in doubt. So do join, and we should have a meaningful experience together. Shavuot, 2 bits of trivia. Why cheesecake? Well, it comes from having milky food on Shavuot. One reason is because when we received the Torah at Mount Sinai, we received the revelation from God, the experience of God as a nation, but not yet mitzvot. So we didn't yet have the laws of how to slaughter animals. And so many rabbis say, therefore, we could not eat animals. We could only have milky foods. To remember that, we then had this custom, which is an old custom, of having milky food on Shavuot. Some also say that it represents the 2 loaves of bread, which is the core offering brought on Shavuot, and really is a central symbol. So Shavuot is a festival of revelation, which impacts 2 things really. It impacts on how I believe. I may believe in God as a Jew because God revealed himself to the nation at Sinai. But it impacts revelation on how we act, because from that revelation came many mitzvot, which impact on how we act as a people. And what I often found interesting was, is there a way into Judaism through either belief or through action? Right? Do we learn to believe, right, through actions? In other words, as long as I act, right, I might not believe now, I might not have strong belief now, but as long as I keep doing the Passovers and the Yom Kippurs and the Shabbat dinners and the candle lighting and all what we do, as long as I do that, the keeping kosher, it's going to bring me back to God. It's going to lead me to some sort of belief. And therefore, in that approach, it's action that's critical. The other side could be actually the opposite. It could be that for me to properly act, for any of what I do, for all of what we do to mean something, I need to believe first. Surely I need to believe in God, because it was God that commanded us to do all the stuff that we're doing, not a separate cultural act that I might do just because I'm being brought up to do it. Now, of course, those are 2 approaches. I don't really want to get stuck in either of them, because if our actions, right, on the one hand, we could just act independently of God, as I just said. The actions we do are just what we do, and we pass them down, hopefully, to our children without any connection to the religion, right? And often I've had people tell me, I'm not religious. Many of you have said to me, and I totally understand that, I'm not religious, but then we'll say, well, I keep kosher food, and I will put tefillin on, or I will go to shul, or I'll pray. And I think to myself, well, that's a religious act. That's a religious act. So we all have our levels. We all have our different access or not to the Torah and where we are. But when we separate meat and milk, that in itself is a religious act. It connects back to the Torah. But of course, if we only believe without acting, we might be spiritually minded people, with our heads, so to speak, in the clouds of belief and idea and mystical ideas. But of course, Judaism is a very grounded religion. It's about having 2 feet on the ground, not just our head in the clouds. And so clearly it's about somehow becoming balanced between groundedness, right, what we do, and believing. And we can come from either way. One approach is I learn what to do, I keep the laws, but I learn about them, and through learning about what I do, I might become more believing. I might connect to God in one way. Or, on the other hand, a person who's interested in philosophy, religion and theology and ideas might then want to think, right, well, how do I build that relationship? Because mitzvot, in many ways, are a bridge between us and God. They bridge between us and the Infinite One. So I hope there's some thoughts for you. Have a great Shavuot. Maybe stay up a bit later tonight and learn a bit from the Chumash. Take a parsha, take your bar or bat mitzvah parsha, have a look at it again, have a discussion at the table, have a great Shavuot, enjoy your cheesecake, and again, of course, a Rabbi David hug to end. Chag Sameach.